Hi, Chris Digirolamo from Maggiano, DiGirolamo, and Lizzi. So often when clients come to the office, they ask many questions about what kind of benefits they have as part of their accident case, what claims can they make, what claims are they prevented from making. So what I'd like to do today is go over some of the most often asked questions, especially at the initial client meeting. So when I first sit down with a client, they have a number of questions, all usually very good questions, because most people have never been involved in a case like this before. So we are always happy at our firm to answer every question a person has, because it's a big undertaking to go through a personal injury case. Some of the most often asked questions are, who pays for my medical bills? The accident wasn't my fault. Why should my insurance company have to pay? So in a typical automobile case, New Jersey has no fault law. What that means is your own automobile insurance company pays your medical bills so that there's no delay. For example, if there's a dispute as to whose fault the accident was, New Jersey decided a long time ago not to delay treatment, to wait on an outcome as to fault. So no fault was invented, which says fault is not the issue for treatment. The treatment will be paid for by your own personal automobile insurance. The next question people ask me is, well, if my automobile insurance is paying for my treatment, are my rates going to go up? And if the accident is in fact not your fault and you're collecting your own medical bills through your own insurance company, that will not increase your insurance premium. Another question is typically, well, who pays for my car damage? Again, under New Jersey law, fault is not always the criteria that's used. If you need to get your car fixed quickly, you can get it paid through your own insurance company. However, if you do that, your own insurance company, typically your benefits have a co-payment and or a deductible that you'll have to pay, and then the insurance company will pick up the difference. If the other driver is at fault and their company pays for the damage to the car, they pay without any money out of your pocket. Another question that's typically asked at the first meeting is, well, how do I find a medical expert, a doctor who can help me treat my injuries? And normally what we always advise a client is, if you went to a hospital and the doctor at the hospital said they would follow up with you, then that's typically a logical place for you to follow up. If they didn't do that, we always suggest that a client go to see their primary care physician, and the primary care physician can then direct them to treatment. However, a lot of people don't have primary care physicians. They don't have a slew of doctors they go to, and they say, I don't know who to go to. They could certainly nowadays, with the advent of Google and computers and testimonials from patients, you can certainly find excellent physicians on the internet. But our office also, depending on the geographic area, our experience with certain medical specialists, we can help provide names of doctors for people to see. Another typical question that's asked is, how long will my lawsuit take? Typically, the average lawsuit from the date of the accident to the date of resolution, if the case can settle without a trial, is usually somewhere between about 12 months and 18 months. If the treatment extends for a long period of time because the injuries are very serious, it would take longer. Also, if the case nowadays, post-COVID, has to go to trial, unfortunately, the trial process has been delayed due to COVID closure, and those delays have continued to cause long delays in the New Jersey court system. So if a case has to be tried, usually that could be as much as 4 years from the date of the injury. Another common question people ask is, if a doctor says I need surgery, should I have surgery? And that's a question that we always point back to the client and say, look, that's a very serious question, and the answer has to come from you. No lawyer can ever direct a client to have surgery. It usually should be something that's discussed with the client and their doctor. And ultimately, a decision should be reached between the two. No client should make a decision on a surgery or a serious medical procedure based on the case. It's got to be based on the client's well-being. Another common question people ask is, what can I collect in a personal injury case? And typically there are a significant number of categories of damages, but the primary damage is pain and suffering. How do you prove pain and suffering? The way we use a method to prove pain and suffering is we have to try and tell a story about the individual's life before they got hurt and the changes in that life since the injury and as a result of those injuries. And so we typically have doctor reports, we have diagnostic testing to confirm injury, and we bring in what's called before and after after witnesses, condition witnesses, people who've known our client before they were ever hurt and who know them still and can tell us the difference between what they were like before and how they're suffering and how they're different now. So those are the typical questions that get asked initially. As the case runs its course, we have an open dialogue with all our clients, and every question that pops up, we are there to answer. And there are numbers of questions always asked. And there is one thing we tell all our clients at the first meeting is there is no bad question. So we open our minds and we try and provide, through our experience, answers to all the questions our clients have. Thank you.